store are being called after some of their new owners fell ill. But it's more widespread than it's first thought. Since the pandemic began, there's been 625 outbreaks of COVID in animals across 32 countries. But these were all in zoos and enclosures where it's easy to identify and monitor symptoms. It's the animal we don't see, those in the wild, that are raising fears. Leading animal health experts have told the BBC that if COVID spreads to wild animal populations, it could mutate into a more dangerous variant that could once again make the leap back over to humans. Well, let's get more on this from the BBC World Service Environment correspondent Navin Singh Khadka. Navin, what is the risk at stake here?
So just now, as you heard, basically we've got this record from different parts of the world, but there were animals in zoos, enclosures, or there were pets. But what's happening with wild animals? That's the big question. And that is because they have found, at least in one species, that, this animal, the white-tailed deer in the US or Canada, it was found to have been infected by the COVID virus from humans. And they are studying still whether the virus is mutating or not. Now, it's not to say that all animals have become dangerous. What experts tell us is that there might be cases where animals have not been infected, or even if they are, it's just mild, or the animals are not becoming reservoirs or no mutation. But that's what we need to make sure that it's not happening, because if it is happening, then what is to be done? That's the next question, and that is something not happening now around the world.
So what can we be done? What can be done?
So basically what they're saying is that, because there's a lack of budget or what they say, a broad framework, the sample size is missing, how many animals to be tested. As you know, there are even mammals alone, 5,000 species. So how do you do about it? So what they're saying is perhaps for now, there should be targeted surveillance. And also you need to assess where are those exposed points. For example, the white-tailed deer in the US or in Canada, because there's a huge population and they tend to come closer to humans. For example, other places where wildlife come to people's farm, for example, or let's say bears, they come to get the food that you don't eat or you trash them. So things like that, or even sewage. Where is your sewage going, and is it being discharged to the habitats? So these are the things that need to be identified, and that's how you go about it. But at the same time, experts are saying when countries are struggling to treat people from COVID, they don't have ventilators in many countries. Will this be the priority? That is another challenge.
So to be clear, this concerns wild animals. What about domestic pets?
So you see, for example, the this World Organization for Animal Health, what they have registered, what they have found is all these animals, 625 that you said earlier, they've also registered dogs and cats. And I'm being told by these experts that they were pets. But this is not to say that all the pets are getting it or all the pets are in danger. This is not to say that. But there have been cases in some countries, in some cases. And again, because they can be identified, they can be examined, and they can be treated. So they are okay about it. They think that this is manageable. But the thing is, because if it can happen in gorillas or tigers or lions in zoos, can it not happen in the wild? A, and B, because they have identified this white-tailed deer, which was in the wild. That's why, and not to forget the 2009 pandemic, the swine flu pandemic, that showed that viruses can jump between animals and humans back and forth. That is another worry, that the thing that they want to make sure that shouldn't repeat. So
if it is being repeated, does it mean it would be a more dangerous variant to the humans?
Well, that is what, you see, for example, the white-tailed deer, so far what they found was the white-tailed deer was not sick. It was not showing any symptoms. But what they are now currently trying to find out with latest samples in white-tailed deer is the virus mutating? And if it is it becoming dangerous? That is the point. So this is not to say that all animals are now getting it and the viruses are becoming dangerous. It's not to say that. But what is the fact, or what is crucial here is you need to make sure that the virus, if we are, first of all, humans are passing it on to those wild animals, A, and B, if it is happening, are the wild animals Are they becoming sick? And is the virus, is it becoming other animals, wild animals becoming reservoir? And is the virus mutating and becoming dangerous? That is what they say needs to be found as soon as possible.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Navin Singh Khadka. You are the BBC World Service Environment correspondent.